All right, let's jump right in because this is a big one. You've got two of the heaviest hitters in the entire tech world, Nvidia and OpenAI, and they've just announced a landmark investment that's poised to literally transform the UK's technology scene.
And I want to be super clear here. This is not an exaggeration. We're talking about what's being called one of the most significant technology commitments in the entire history of the UK. This isn't just another big funding round. It's a fundamental bet on the future.
And here's what makes this so incredibly powerful. This huge injection of cash is landing on what's already really fertile ground. I mean, the UK's AI sector has already seen an absolutely staggering 58% jump in the number of active companies in just the last year. So the boom is already well underway. This is just like pouring rocket fuel on an already roaring fire.
So who exactly are these titans making this multi-billion-dollar bet on the UK? Let's take a quick look at the two powerhouses driving this whole thing. You know, it's kind of like they're two perfect halves of a whole. On one side, you've got Nvidia. Think of them as the engine room. They're the ones building the incredibly powerful, specialized chips and hardware that form the absolute backbone of all modern AI. And then, on the other side, you have OpenAI. They're the brains of the operation, the research leaders who are creating those game-changing AI models, like the ones behind ChatGPT that have just taken the world by storm.
Okay, so landmark investment sounds impressive, but what does it actually mean in the real world? Well, it boils down to this, a multi-billion-dollar push to build and scale up a whole network of advanced AI data centers. This is the nuts and bolts, the critical infrastructure, the digital highways and power plants that are going to run the next generation of AI development.
And you have to understand, this isn't just some isolated project for the UK. It's actually a key piece in a much, much bigger global puzzle. It's part of OpenAI's really ambitious international program, which has the cool codename Stargate. And in doing this, they're not only reinforcing those vital economic ties between the US and UK, but they're also tackling the absolutely soaring demand for AI infrastructure across all of Europe. And they're bringing in specialists like Nscale to help get it all built.
Okay, so that's the who and the what. Now let's get to the so what. What does this all actually mean for the country on the ground? Well, simply put, we are talking about a massive economic windfall.
Let's just start with the number that'll make your jaw drop. 38,000. That is the number of new jobs this whole thing is expected to create. And we're not talking about a small bump here. This is a huge wave hitting the entire tech job market.
But honestly, that huge number doesn't even tell the whole story. You've got to think about the ripple effect, right? This one big investment is going to kickstart innovation in countless other industries. It's also basically a giant flashing neon sign to other global investors, telling them, hey, the UK is the place to be for AI. All of this helps attract the best talent and really cements the UK's spot as the top AI hub in all of Europe.
And the thing is, the UK is already starting from a position of strength. London, in particular, is already at the top of the AI food chain in Europe, well ahead of other major hubs like Berlin and Paris. This investment isn't just about keeping that lead, it's about extending it in a big, big way. But it's not all sunshine and exponential growth. Whenever you have this kind of explosive expansion, you're going to get some serious growing pains. And believe me, there are some pretty tough questions that we absolutely need to start asking.
And that leads us to probably the most important question of all. This AI boom, with all its amazing promise, is everyone in the UK actually going to get a piece of the pie? And this is where we hit a major hurdle: regional disparity. There's a very real fear that all these benefits, the jobs, the money, the opportunity, will just get poured into London and the Southeast, where so much of the investment is already concentrated. That could leave other parts of the country with a much, much smaller share. And people are definitely making noise about this. You're hearing it from all corners, from industry leaders to government officials. They're all saying, hang on, we need a more balanced approach here. We've got to make sure these incredible opportunities spread far beyond the capital.
So what this does is drop a really complex puzzle right onto the desks of policymakers. How do you actually ensure this development is spread out fairly? How do you protect everybody's data privacy and security in this new world? How do you create an environment where everyone feels included? And what kind of government safeguards do you need to put in place to manage this all responsibly?
You know, when you put all of this together, it becomes really clear that the UK is at a massive crossroads right now. This is a truly pivotal moment. It's not just about managing an investment. It's about this huge, delicate balancing act between immense opportunity on one hand and profound responsibility on the other.
And the choice ahead couldn't be more stark. On one path, there's the promise of becoming a true economic superpower, a global hub for innovation. But the other path holds peril.
the very real risk of making those regional divides even wider, of centralizing all the opportunity in just one corner of the country, and of not properly dealing with all the thorny ethical questions that AI brings up.
And that really is the bottom line here. This is so much bigger than just a tech story. We're not just talking about building a few data centers. What's happening right now is about consciously and deliberately designing the blueprint for the UK's entire economy for decades to come.
Which leaves us with one final defining question. The investment is here, the technology is coming, but can the UK actually pull this off? Can it successfully navigate this moment and balance this kind of explosive, world-leading growth with truly inclusive opportunity for everyone? The answer to that is going to shape its future.